Oh my goodness, we're here. We're live. Yeah, we're live. Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm Len Dorman, the host of 30PM Paranormal, right here on All Access Network TV. We've had an unfortunate passing away this past week. If Gwen will please show up the picture of Miss Dolly there. Burt Reynolds once said of her, that's the best two actresses he ever worked with. Right there. And she was 80. She lived a long, happy life. She had a lot of money. One of the most talented songwriters in the history of this country. And she deserves all the accolades she can get. So don't mind. Let's have about 15 seconds of a dead air time in respect for Dolly Parton. Thank you very much for the moment of silence there for Dolly Parton. She's a great person, a great American, fantastic songwriter. Thank you very much. Her family is definitely mine tonight, and I wish her happiness on the other side, and I wish the best for her remaining family. Apparently, Miley Cyrus is going to inherit most of her stuff. Dolly was her godmother. And I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, let's move on with the show. I've got a special guest tonight. If you'll throw up the other photo there with mine and Rez's picture on it that you did, Gwen. We got Bobbie RezNeck Calkins on the show coming up in just a minute. Go ahead and throw up the other picture, please, Gwen, with the two dark spots. We may go down a rabbit hole or two. It may be big like that one. Because that's a couple of rabbit holes there. So stand by. We may be going down a rabbit hole. Rez is no small guy. I'm totally not a small guy. So we need some big holes if we're going down a rabbit hole. So here we go. Let's go ahead and open the door on this show, please, Gwen. All right, that's enough applause. Everybody sit down, please. Everybody calm down. Welcome one and all to the show. Here in the United States, overseas, all ships at sea, welcome to the show. And let's bring out really quick the guest for tonight.
What's up, everyone?
Calkins. How you doing, Rez?
Pretty good. Hey, I'm going to send you some WD-40 for that door. You can't sneak up with a creaky door. You hear me okay? Hello.
Wink, can you hear Rez?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Must be mine. I can hear either one of you. Oh no.
He broke the system.
He did. Hold on. He's going to have to go out.
Jar this thing back together. Take me down and bring me back in.
Kick him out of his own show. Okay.
Well, I had to kick him out of the studio. That's the only way to fix it.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be fine, guys. Everybody, welcome to Southern Fried Paranormal. Thank you, Rez, for the last week assist. I appreciate it.
Hey, that's fine.
We had a good time on your show the other night too. Had some good good comments about that one.
We did, and I was happy that we were able to do that, and I'm glad I'm going to take a little hiatus.
Oh,
But we'll be back, so all those that are tuning in, never fear. You can't get rid of me that easily.
and there will be reruns or replays or encores, whatever you would like to say.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere. He's just taking a little vacation for a minute there. All right, here's
Much
Len.
needed break.
I got booted from my own show.
Yeah, you did.
That's the only way to fix it. You hear me, Len? That's the only way to fix it is to go all the way out.
Okay. I
right.
went all the way out and I'm all the way back.
If it does it
All
again
right.
to either one of you guys, just go all the way back out. Anyway, I'm going to pop in the back. Here we go. Good show.
So can you hear me now?
I can hear you just great now.
All right. Now, what I was saying when I first popped on, I'm going to get you some WD-40 for that door. You can't have a squeaky door if you're sneaking up on people.
That is a squeaky door.
It is.
The only thing is, you might as well go get it now, because to close the show, I have another squeaky door closing.
I gotta go all the way outside to the truck to get the WD-40. It'll take too long. I'll mail you something, okay?
Okay.
Either that or
Actually, I got
next
WD-40 in my shop, which is right behind me. If you look right here, right here,
right there.
you'll see two fans. The bottom of two fans behind booze. This is booze, by the way.
Okay.
You see two fans there. I don't need them on because it's kind of cooled off a little bit. But during the day, these fans run and blow the AC air out of here into my workroom there.
Okay.
It's an insulated room. It'll hold the air conditioning. But rather than putting a window unit out there, I just put these two fans here to blow some cool air out here because I have a mini split right in this direction.
Okay.
Oh, and right down on this computer. So I'm looking at the thermometer now. I'm a nice cool 73 degrees sitting here.
That's comfy. I can handle that.
Especially a t-shirt.
For my house is at right around 69, but 73 I'll take.
And the mini split set on 78. Actually, 3 of them kept the house pretty cool even when it was 100 degrees.
Okay.
And real feel is 110, 111.
Yo.
That's what we've had down here lately. We've been in
I'll keep my butt up here in the north. Our 90s big deal. The only thing that kills me up here is the humidity.
Mm. Yeah. We were hotter than New Orleans, even when it went to Paracon. And I was investigating Vicksburg, the battlefield.
Yep.
And it was 98, 99 degrees and 111, 112 real feel with the humidity. And I was outside doing all that. Although at one battery, I heard a voice with my ears, not recorded, but with my ears. And there was nobody around me because I looked. Somebody said reload at a battery, which was cool.
Yeah.
And another spot, I walked into some woods, but it was so hot, and it was ridiculous. I walked through the woods to a cut area where they cut the grass. Figured there must be something down here, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I run to a cold spot where it was at least in the 70s, in the sun, in this spot, and there's no way that's natural.
No, someone was chilling there.
Yeah.
In the moments you hope that your ghosty friends come by and pull you off a little bit.
This was on the battlefield, and it was actually on the line of one of the armies. Because right where the fighting was taking place, I was standing right there.
Nice.
So I did get some results there. Now, the Calumet battlefield didn't get a whole lot there, but I didn't go over the whole battlefield. I only had an hour, and I hit the museum and hit the big mosque. They got their big old tall obelisk, or what do they call those? Like the Washington Monument. There, I took some pictures of the plaques, Didn't really get anything there, but again, I did not go out to the actual battlefield itself, which is why I was telling earlier, I'm trying to arrange something where we can go down there and stay there. I talked to the rangers down there, and they said they'll work with anybody if we put somebody down there in that park.
Okay, that's cool.
So they kind of cracked the door open for me, and got somebody that lives down there willing to do it as an historian. So I don't know, maybe next year at the New Orleans Paracon 2027, which should be interesting with cryptids added and the aliens added, UFO people.
You know, everything underneath the umbrella of the paranormal will be there.
Yes.
You know, we'll all be represented, which I think makes for a well-rounded Paracon.
Yes,
he was last this year, but next year's going to be even better.
Next year's going to be better. Hopefully, he picks up a sponsor or two for it. He talked to several people, and they said we are not going to sponsor a first-year event.
Yep.
Just bang, that door got shut. But he said, talk to us next year if you have a second one. We'll go there for a second one, but we're not going to do the first one. So hopefully he has a sponsor. I'm going to be talking to somebody myself down there. There was a rum company down there that said delicious rum, and I got some of it. It was awesome, but they had a fire and went out of business about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
There's now a spirit company. They make 3 products: vodka, gin, and bourbon. Their bourbon is now the taste of bourbon. You know, there's that thing of bourbon tasters across. It is now the one that they're talking about. They say it's the best bourbon, that they've ever tasted.
Okay.
The taster's absolutely loving it. And you remember the VIP party?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I had a blast out on the balcony.
Did you see me walking around with the cup in my hand?
No, actually, I did not. I spent most of my time at the VIP party out on the balcony because I don't drink.
I was on the balcony, and I had a cup about like this. And what I did, I walked up to the bartender. I said, give me a Frank Sinatra. Hello, Anthony.
Hey,
and,
Big Wraith.
And before Greg was there, but Greg Koss, Kathleen Johnson saying the VIP party was awesome. But I walked up to the bartender to give me a Frank Sinatra. You know what Frank Sinatra is, John?
Yeah.
It's two rocks and 3 fingers. But he drank Daniels. I asked him if he had the bourbon that was made in New Orleans. He picked the bottle up. I said, give me a Frank Sinatra with that. So he put about 4 of those little small cubes of ice in it, which is about equal to 2, big cubes.
Yep.
He said, to hell with 3 fingers. I'm making you a drink. He put that thing this far from the top of that bourbon. So I was walking around. I had a few beads. I threw them over, but in my hand was a drink that was straight bourbon.
Nice.
And it doesn't have that, taste like some bourbons have.
Right.
Some bourbons have a bite. This had no bite at all. It was just smooth. It was fabulous taste and stuff.
Nice.
So
since we're talking about liquor here, you like moonshine?
Got some in the fridge.
Well, I'll see about bringing some down to New Orleans for you this year.
Cool.
I'm gonna twist in the arm of the old brother Heathen there to whip up some. He's originally from the hills of Pennsylvania. Grew up making it. And some of the best shine I've ever had.
Ooh, cool.
It's a treat every time I can get him to make it. That's something I will sit and drink.
Cool.
I can't even say you drink. You sip it. It's sipping whiskey.
Yeah. You sip that.
Yeah, you do. If not, you get in way too much trouble.
Yes. Actually, I'm one of these nice drunks. I get plastered. I crawl up on the couch to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You want me to shut up? Give me a remote.
Right? Give you a blanket and a remote and 20 minutes later, you're knocked out, huh?
Yes. I'll find a baseball game, football game, or something, or a movie of some sort. Ed Leban, hello, brothers.
Yeah, Ed was part of my group that we traveled down together down to NOLA. It was me, him, his son, my son's girlfriend, and Mr. Larry Eisler. We all kind of caravan together and went that way. It was a blast.
It was a blast. Did you go to the Andrew Jackson?
No, actually, I didn't do any of the investigations while I was in town this year. I hung out at the hotel, just kicked it, relaxed. I used it more as a vacation than it was a chance to get out. Because we did our investigating on the way down, got to check out some places, did a little bit on the way back. So I knew I was going to be busy investigating, so it really wasn't. I don't want to say I didn't want to go out, but I really didn't have the urge to. So I know next year I've been trying to talk to them about maybe helping with some of the tours. Just to get my butt out there and keep working, keep busy.
Or we can keep busy by you being at one location, me being at the other, and doing a co-podcast.
Yeah, I'll be down with that.
We did that Friday night. It was cool. It's a lot of work for Gwen because she's got to set up the Starlink and go back and forth in two different places, but she can handle it. Friday night,
she's good like that.
Yeah. Friday night, we were kind of winding down at the Andrew Jackson, and I had my echo box going. And you've never been there, have you?
No.
Okay, they've got a back building with two rooms in it, 2 hotel rooms, and they got the haunted closet. They're facing the building on the left.
Okay.
To the right's a room. In between is a stairwell where you go up to the room over the closet. And they've got exclusive rights to the closet. Christopher and Jennifer have.
Okay.
And that's where Priest likes to hang out. That's the main spirit there. I had one in a echo box in there, in the chair. And the speaker out in the courtyard, separating the hotel where it goes back in 2 layers, 2 long buildings like this, or rooms on it, 2 stories either side, and you walk out of the main part where the lobby is, and all of a sudden you've got rooms on both sides for 2 stories. But the speaker all of a sudden said, it was Priest's voice, said, all women inside to the closet. And I was standing there with about 4 or 5 women right beside the speaker. They say, because the priest say, go to the closet. He said it twice. They went to the closet. And of course, I was listening to all this, and then all the voices started going crazy, of course, with 4 or 5 women in there, plus priest talking.
Yeah.
Chris came walking out. He said, well, okay, where is everybody? I said, well, priest just asked all the women to go into the closet. So, of course, he was scooting over there real quick to make sure there was nothing bad happening.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't even understand what was going on in the speaker. Between 5 or 6 people being in the closet and priest talking. They had an interesting time in there talking to priest. He got really talkative there for a few minutes.
Cool.
But Chris actually moved fast. He's going to bounce. Oh, where's everybody? Because he left a room where another investigation is, another hotel room. Because the way he does it, we have the whole hotel, or he does. And when they had the investigation there on Friday and Saturday night, you can go anywhere in the hotel you want to go.
Okay.
So he left us another room, but he literally ran into where the closet was. Because all of a sudden some people were in there at priest request. And they're talking to priest, and he wanted to hear what was going on, make sure it was nothing serious.
Right.
So those women had a good time.
Good.
You want to go in there and talk to the main spirit, and the main spirit requested their presence in the closet, which was just weird.
You
And at the Colonius voodoo shop, I was sitting next to a guy and I said, okay, spirits of this voodoo shop, give me the first name of the person sitting next to me. And within seconds, a female voice come up and said, Bob. Bob almost jumped out of his skin right next to me.
yeah.
Oh my God, that was my name.
I remember the very first time that I heard my name come across the spirit box. You know, Rez is something you should not hear at all. It's not common. There's nothing that should be affiliated with that. And for it to come across clear as day, I was like, it said my name. I was shocked. You know? Even to this day, it still gets me from time to time.
Okay. There you go, Gwen.
You know?
You're talking about Ed Warren came through at to bitch at Johnny about what they're doing to his house.
I heard about that. You know, see, what's sitting out on the balcony when everyone came back from the investigations, they'd come out there and have a cigarette or decompress, and you got to hear everyone's personal experiences. So even though I didn't go on any investigations, I heard all about
them. And Nancy Noonan Kelly on the post before Gwen. Okay, I popped right in when I heard we ask all the women go to the closet. The main spirit at the Andrew Jackson priest asked all the women to go to the closet. It was in the courtyard. Apparently, he knows how my system works and plays it. Because every time I go there, he says something.
Yeah.
He doesn't bother me, but I don't bother him. I don't go in there and spirit speak to me, priest, say something.
Right.
I just said, got anything you want to say, priest? And he knows how to work my system. And he just saw the 4 or 5 women standing out in the courtyard, and over the speaker asked them to come into the closet. And of course, they were all amazed, but immediately walked to the closet. So I can call them brave souls.
Well, come on.
A lot of people get requested like that to go to that closet. Are not going to go.
If you're on the other side, stuck somewhere, by yourself, you see a group of ladies hanging out where you're at, I'm going to want them to come visit me too. So can you blame the guy?
No, can't blame him at all. And Chris was just a little bit concerned about what might be said because they've been in there 3 or 4 minutes before he came down. He went running over there to see what was going on. And there was nothing wrong, nothing untoward. Nobody got attacked, but contact was made.
Yeah.
Nancy said, wow, and they went. Thanks.
They were brave souls.
Like I said, brave souls.
Yeah.
And they went in there, and I stayed in the courtyard because he didn't ask for me. That's the respect to have a priest. If he'd asked Len come into the closet, I'm gone.
Right.
But he didn't ask for me. He asked them to come into the closet.
So you let them go.
I just let them move on. I let them listen to the speaker that went absolutely nuts with communication.
Yeah. Well, that's the more you listen to the requests from the other side and you abide by them, you'll get more communication because they're saying that you're meeting them halfway where they want to. So you get more that way than you do by going in and demanding communication.
Right. Okay, Nancy's got a long post. When I was down and very tall, dressed in long robe, and a very good. That was like I'm going to die. Okay, that would shake me up in the house.
Yeah, I'd be talking schmack. If I was younger, the younger me probably would have freaked me out. But nowadays, I'd be like, come on, now, are you trying to?
Did you hear what happened to me Saturday night? Sunday morning?
No, what happened?
I was requested to go to my front porch
Okay.
a couple of times. I say, go to the front porch. Okay, so I didn't have a shirt on. Well, I had a shirt on, but I went and put some pants and some shoes on, and walked out the porch. Yes, I went. So and they said hurry, and then they said run. So I went running to the porch, and the second I opened the door, the echo box said back in here. Because actually, I'm only a few yards with an open window here because these fans. Yep. So I was standing just a couple of yards back behind where I'm sitting now. But as soon as I opened the front door, they said, that's him. And what they were doing, they pointed out a couple of different things. I had an armadillo on the ground that was kind of tangled up in the plastic. The plastic they had wrapped around that end of the porch, protecting some wood I had sitting there, was ripped down because of some wind gusts the night before. And apparently the spirits was warning me to move the wood, because after I closed the show off, I went out there and moved the wood where it wouldn't get rained on.
Yep.
And that's what they were warning me about. And it poured down rain most of Sunday.
Gotcha.
So they were worried about the wood out there getting wet.
Yeah.
And they were pointing out that the plastic had blown down. And in fact, the armadillo got a little bit tied up, but he heard me stomping around, and he backed up a little bit, and then went around the plastic and got out of it. Okay. But that's the noise making when you have sheet plastic falling down on the ground and the armadillo starts getting tied up in it.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's pretty noisy.
But that's why they were asking me to go outside.
Interesting.
So Nancy, yes, I did go. Apparently they were pointing out something that I needed to be aware of and to fix. I moved the wood because it rained all day Sunday.
Yeah, they're warning you.
That's exactly what they did. They were warning me that rain was coming. And one board in particular, a big sheet of siding, 8 feet by 4 feet, that I really did not want to get wet.
Right.
I think because the armadillo was tied up in the sheet plastic a little bit. And I kind of startled him when I was walking on the porch, but he got out of the plastic and started walking across the yard because I guess probably smelled a human. Definitely heard the footsteps, felt the vibrations. Because remember, I'm 260 pounds. So when I'm walking on a wooden porch, you hear me coming.
You know, I feel you. I'm 340, 6'1", 340 pounds. I'm a big boy, so yeah, you hear my footsteps coming.
That's why I post those great big rabbit holes.
Yeah, exactly. So we fit in them.
You and I go down a rabbit hole. It's going to be kind of big.
Exactly. You know, the last time I was at an MRI machine, my breathing alone, my chest and my belly hit the top of the machine. So it's like, yeah, I need something bigger, guys.
Yeah. Those MRI machines are tight. I've got to take what is that? The calming tool, because I have a little bit of claustrophobia.
Yeah.
If they stick in one,
I got to take a Valium when I go in.
That's what it was, a Valium.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm in a casket.
Oh, I'm more comfortable in a casket than I am freaking one of them machines. And there are pictures on Facebook of me in a casket a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh, Nancy's never been in an MRI machine.
Oh, God. You don't want to, darling.
If a doctor ever asks you, Nancy, that you need an MRI, if your legs, that's okay. They're not going to stick your head in there. But if you got to have anything else, MRI, tell your doctor to give you some Valium.
Yeah.
Calm you down. Because they don't want anybody freaking out in an MRI.
Yeah, you got to lay completely still, can't move, barely breathe. And if you do, they got to start all over again.
Yep. And then you're in there twice as long.
Mm-hmm.
So take it for some people. Know how many times you been in one?
Oh God, I think I've had like 6 or 7 of them over the years.
Yeah. Do not lift your head in an MRI machine.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I've had it done several times because of my back.
Oh, they did drug you, Nancy. Okay. Yeah, I've had a couple of my knees because I've had knee replacement on both legs.
Yeah.
So I had MRIs done of that, and the MRI'd my neck once. And I think my head once.
Yeah, I've been CAT scanned in the head and the neck, but I've never had an MRI on the head and neck. But all mine are all lower body. My L5S1 is fused together. 2 rods, 5 screws, and a washer. Well, I had to go through, I think, 3 or 4 of them before surgery, and I've gone through a couple since. Because I prolonged it. Right away when they wanted to do surgery, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. But they got to the point where they're like, well, at this age now, this is what you're dealing with. If it blows forward, you're going to be in a wheelchair the rest of your life. If it goes backwards, we might be able to save it, but it's a really big money. So I was like, all right, sign me up for the surgery, which came another MRI. And I can't stand them.
Right now, I just had some x-rays done on my left hip, and my left hip is deteriorating. Great news. So now on Tuesday and Thursday, I don't know how I'm going to be on the show next week because I'm under physical therapy Tuesday and Thursday for the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
So a few hours before the show, I'll be going to go physical therapy for the hip. They're trying to keep me upright without replacing the hip.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most deadly surgeries that there are out there, from what I understand. Especially for as we get older. I was always told to stay away from the hip replacements.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Love you too.
Yeah. Just gotta stay at the obvious and poke at the bear, Yeah. Hey, at least she's picking on you tonight. Usually, she picks on me all the time, both on and off the air. So
Nancy's a cool person. I got nothing against her. She get all she wants.
She's good shit.
I don't know if you know it or not, but I am 70 this year. I turned 70 this summer.
No way.
Yeah. 70 years, 1956.
There you go. Looking good for 70, my friend.
Thanks. I try. I stopped going to it's amazing that I still look younger. One, I got the beard coming in.
Yeah.
And 2, I spent so much time in the 70s down in Panama City, Florida on the beach.
You had a lot of fun down there.
Well, yeah, I was born and raised 4.5 hours from the beach.
Nice.
And that's going to speed limit. I have done it in 3.5.
See, I grew up in the burbs of Chicago, so I didn't get that beach life.
Oh, there's a beach there, but you don't know what's in that lake water.
Yeah, considering there's a nuke plant just a few miles down the road from where we swam. So
yeah. Of course, Nancy's admitting she's turning 66 this year.
Yeah, I'm closing in. I'm not that close, but I'm closing in.
Yeah, there it is. Love the 70s. Yes. Graduated in 1974. That's when I turned 8. I actually graduated at 17. It was still a month before I turned 18 when I graduated.
Nice.
Back to the last of the cool areas. In auto shop, drove a hot rod. Dated anybody I wanted to, basically.
Right.
Because I was a cool kid with a cool car.
That helps.
Yes.
It's surprising you're not, you one of them hot rods, kind of gleamed to you.
I had a 64 Falcon. with a V8.
Okay. Nice.
It was cool.
I grew up with all kinds of hot rods. My old man was a big Mopar fanatic, in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area. He was known as Mr. Mopar.
Cool.
So we had, at one point in time, I think we had 56 cars on the property.
Woo!
And you're talking a good 90% of them were Mopars, old muscle cars, stuff like that.
For a while, I had a 1968 440 Charger.
Nice.
Four on the floor with that great big pistol grip.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my dream cars.
I had that.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
I had one growing up. It was a 68 Charger. Again, like you, 440 in it. The old man raced it and then retired it when he got his Super B for racing. And it was supposed to be my first race car. Unfortunately, he passed away before I got old enough, and we had lost it.
Wow.
Oh, but yeah, my first car technically was a 68 Charger. I just never got to do anything with it.
Yeah, I knew a guy in high school that had it was 70, I think, Super B. He had 383 mag in it.
Okay.
And a guy in front of me was a year older when I was in junior auto shop. Fury with a 440 blueprint. Yeah, Furies were fast cars because some of them had the same engine the Chargers did.
Yeah. I remember hearing stories.
Four Fury 3 or something, and it's a hot rod.
Yeah. I remember hearing stories of the old man outrunning some of the local cops with the Furies. And they'd be like, eventually they catch up, what the hell you got in there? Well, they're running a standard car. He had a 6-pack on top of this, which turned around, gave him that little bit of edge over stock motors that the police were running.
Nancy lived on the edge. She had a Corvair and a Pinto.
Oh, that's almost as bad as driving a Yugo.
Yeah, they're both dangerous cars to drive, and I consider them more dangerous than a 68 Charger 440 or a Super B.
Right. At least the old Mopars you're surrounded by steel, lots of it.
Oh, Gwen's even laughing at the
Pinto, little pop can it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as the Gremlins.
Yeah, had a friend of mine back then who had a 70 or 71 Pinto. We used to ride around it all the time, not realizing that if somebody hit us from the rear, we'd be burnt toast.
Yeah.
78 Trans Am, 85 Mustang. Nice. By the way, what you're talking about Mopar. You're talking about Mopar. The car we have now is a 2006 Dodge Magnum.
Okay.
Now we rent a car to go to New Orleans because the Magnum only gets about 8 miles per gallon at best on the highway because it's got the 6.1 425 horse engine in it. The nice thing about 2006 over 2007 had an RPM governor on there. You start hitting about 48, 4,900 RPM, getting close to 5,000 RPM. The governor starts kicking in.
There you go.
Ours does not have a governor. We can wind. It's got the 4-speed automatic, and you can sit there and manually shift those, and you can actually wind it above 5,000 each gear, and then bump it up to overdrive. And if you're on the salt flats or something, you're going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, she loves her little caddies. She got one of the little sports car Cadillacs.
But of course, insurance is cheap on those now. 20-year-old car.
Right. I have an 07 Explorer that I'm currently driving. It's got a 2-inch lift kit on it. big old 33 12.5 mud tires, so it goes everywhere I want it to go.
Yeah, we being retired, we just got the Magnum as our retirement car, and we said, okay, that's it. We'll just drive it till it till the transmission, which is very expensive, blows up, or the engine blows up. The engine replacement would run us between to have it put in at a dealership, which is the only way you can get them, would be anywhere between $15,000 and $18,000.
At that point, I'm buying a rebuild kit and rebuilding it myself. Or
I don't have the price, and
either that or find someone that will find a used one.
well, we're getting to the age where if it goes, it goes. We're not going to worry about replacing it. I'm 70. Gail's only 6 years behind me, and we can do without a car at that point. But our engine has only got 128,000 miles on it.
Nice.
Which is just a break-in for a 6.1. I've talked to several people who have done it and still driving the car at over 400,000 miles.
Yeah. I got a little Ford Ranger in the backyard. Tranny smoked in it. Motor's got 128,000 on it, just like yours. It starts up every time you want. It was one of the most reliable vehicles I ever had until I blew a tranny line on it and ran her out of fluid once or twice, and that was the end of her.
Yep.
But other than that, I used to jump in that and fly up to the UP or take it down to Chicago. Ugly as sin because it's nothing but a wood truck. It's been beat the hell, but the low mileage and the fact that it would just get up and go.
Hey, now, Nancy, instead of trading it in on the new vehicles, especially a Jeep, I've heard some bad stories about new cars. I've heard some bad stories about GM, Ford, and especially Jeep. A lot of mechanics are saying you don't want them because they're so electronic and computer oriented. And when something goes wrong with them, nobody can fix it. Even the dealership can't fix it. They'll find it, they'll trace it down to one electronic part, and they'll replace that chip or replace that circuit board or whatever it is. And the replacement part may or may not fit right. And even though that's the bad part is being replaced, it still won't work. And you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars to a dealership to spend 2 or 3 days trying to trace it down to what it is. And then they can't fix it. I think you'd be better off if you want a Jeep, go to a Jeep mechanic, somebody who works on those things, and just find an older one, like Rez is talking about with his, and put a new transmission if that's what it needs, and it's better than buying a new car.
Yeah, if you can find one that's been from out west or something like that, that's not all rusted and is in good condition. I'm first one. I will not buy a brand new truck. Mm-hmm. I'd love to have one, but I will not buy one because A, you can buy a house with the cost of a freaking truck nowadays, and B, the repair bills. And it's like we can't work on them anymore because they got all that computerized crap.
I fully agree with you on everything you just said.
So give me an old 350. I can wrench on that all day long, or old 440, or 427. It don't matter. When you get this newer stuff, it's a headache. Well, we're talking cars here, and I thought we were supposed to be talking paranormal.
But we're talking about cars we've had in the past. So I guess we're talking ghosts of automobiles.
There you go. Our ghosts from the past.
Yes. I said we were going down the rabbit hole tonight. So here we are in the car rabbit hole.
Exactly. Hey, at least neither one of us owned Christine, even though I'd love the old Plymouth like that. But the attitude behind her, I don't know.
Christy says, Rez, looking great, mate.
Thank you, mate. Good to hear from you.
It's always good to hear from Christy. Chris, mind talking a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you've done in the past, plans for the future?
Well, I'm an open book, so we'll talk about whatever you want. You know, obviously I'm a paranormal investigator, psychic medium, member of the Stockbridge Munsee tribe. I grew up in a spiritualist religion, so I've known about the spirits and the other side ever since I was born. As a child, my parents were going through all the classes to become ministers, and they didn't have a babysitter, so they stuck me in the corner with the toys. And while they're learning how to tune in and hone in their psychic abilities, I was doing the same thing and not realizing. So as a young child, I was able to give readings and stuff like that. And they're like, well, you know, this isn't really acceptable in today's day and age. We want them to have a normal upbringing in school. Don't want them to be an outcast. So they took me to their teachers, and they kind of folded me back up, kind of locked it away for a lot of years. And then after, you know, my entire adult life up to a couple of years back, you know, you'd know things. I'd be the one that people would come and ask for questions, and you kind of like, oh, try this out. To me, this seems right, and it works for me. You know, so having that intuitiveness, and then watching all these dang shows that we had for all these years, and me calling bullshit and going, I can do that, you know, and yelling at them when they decide to cut tail and run when they do get something that could be evidence. You know, one night, my one buddy, a very close friend of mine, almost a brother, turns to me and said, well, if you can do it, why don't the hell you do it? I looked at him like, you know what? My boys are old enough now. I can actually start doing things for myself. I got to worry about their schedules. So I reached out to a friend of mine that had a team and had a decent, reputable team. I said, hey, I want to step out. I am a little sensitive, you know, and I'm looking to kind of keep moving forward with this. So I joined the team and spent a couple years with them, investigating both cryptids and the paranormal, and doing a little bit of the research of the ancestors in the sky, you know, star people. And while I was going through all that with them, I decided to go get in contact with the spiritual church that I grew up in. Both of my parents by this time were already long gone, and I wanted to open up what I knew what was there. So that started me on the journey of becoming a certified psychic medium. I went through all the courses through the ISA to become certified. That's the Independent Spiritual Association. And between them and a lot of the other mediums in our community, constantly going, you know, you need to live up to your true potential. You need to quit hiding in the background. So eventually it's just, I kind of ended up where I'm at now, being an independent. I'm working with many other teams. You know, some people have me as a consultant. Some just call me when they want an extra body to investigate with them. So, and if it was up to me, I'd be doing this 24/7. Hey, Tucker.
Go, Tucker.
Good buddy of mine. We met at the, he's been following me ever since we met at the Bearded Brothers year. Right, man. He always pops in on the shows, come out and see me at a couple of events. Good guy. You know, but yeah, as I say, it's up to me. I'd be on the road 24/7 doing this. Helping families who are questioning what's going on in their own homes, helping children helping them learn that it's nothing to be scared of. And then also at the same time, I've been tasked with helping the ancestors of the indigenous people, of my people, to put them at ease, you know, when I go to these different locations. You know, every location I go to, it seems like there's someone there that's been left behind to watch over, and they're reaching out to me. You know, so and some of them, the locations I've been to where I've done things to honor them and give them that voice again, they've sent others from their tribe, from their group, to follow me, to help me along my journey. I've noticed within the past few years, there's been a lot of interaction with the Ho-Chunk tribe and their ancestors, which was kind of odd to me because I'm Mohican, from Stockbridge.
Yeah, I was about to ask you what tribe you're associated with.
Yep, I'm an enrolled member of the Stockbridge Munsee tribe, Band of Mohicans. Well, we're originally from out east, the New York and Massachusetts area. And I am first line descendant Oneida and first line descendant Blackfoot also. So kind of like a unicorn. I'm a rare oddity. As far as I know, there's no other Mohicans out there doing it.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure people appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
If you're one of a kind, so be it. You're one of a kind.
I'm staying in my own lane, walking my own path, follow my own journey along the Red Road.
Hey, did you see some of the videos I sent you about some of the Native American stuff down in Louisiana?
Yep.
It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, my goal eventually one day is to reservation hop all over what we call Turtle Island, all over America, and go to the different tribes and learn more from each one and help any of them that I can. Like I've actually been invited out this October. I'll be out in Nebraska with the Winnebago tribe.
Cool.
One of their settlements. And they've asked me to come out and talk about Bigfoot and talk about other paranormal experiences I've had with their youth and their tribal members. And to me, that's like the biggest honor there is. I could go to speak at any Paracon. I'd love to. I'll sit and talk with anyone who wants to talk. But to me, the true honor comes in when other tribes say, hey, why don't you come out and talk to our people? Come sit with us and let us learn from you. And then you can learn from us also in the same process. That's
I could have used you a few years ago.
What's that?
I could have used you a few years ago.
You can use whatever you want, my friend.
I was at Poverty Point, which is in northern Louisiana.
Yep.
Yeah, to tell you where it is, if you want to pinpoint Monroe, Louisiana on a map,
okay,
and go east to the river, Poverty Point's there. The reason it's called Poverty Point, that was the name of a plantation that used to be there. Thousands and thousands of acres of cotton originally, of course, slave owners. But it was built on top of a Native American location that they don't know what to do with. They tried to date some of the mounds down there, and the years they're coming up with are ridiculous. The one mound at Poverty Point was, I think, 1,000 or so dump truck loads of dirt got moved. It's 70 feet tall. And they moved it all with no wheels. They had to hand carry baskets to earth, and there's several big holes. I lived in the mountain man lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah. Tucker did. And he's one of the ones that goes out and does the, I don't want to call it reenactments. There's, I can't think of the actual name for it. He goes out and they do the events where they go back to.
Cool. So Tucker seems like he's a pretty cool dude.
He is. He's a phenomenal guy.
Oh, thank you, Christy.
Rendezvous. That's it. Thank you, Tucker.
Okay, I'd never take that word. Okay, thank you, Tucker.
I knew it was there, but I couldn't think of it.
But I was actually investigating at Poverty Point, and was got one of the owners that's buried there. Her husband only spoke once to me. Her grave is marked. There's only three marked graves there. And it's being careful not to stand on any of the 3 marked graves. They've told me that there may be 3 or 4 other graves there that is not marked. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of me talking to the lady, a male voice come out, "You're standing on my grave."
Don't.
Nope. sorry. I backed off real quick. He never spoke again. She also told me that she actually gets along with the Native American spirits around there. The Native American, the reason I said I could have used you is because the Native American spirits do want to come up and say anything to me, being a white man and all this.
Yep,
they were in the woods right behind the very short, small mound I was standing on. I could feel them. I knew they were there, but they wouldn't come up and talk.
Yep, doesn't surprise me. You get that a lot in different locations where, they pick and choose who they'll speak with.
Yes.
And they're looking at each other's heart, at everyone's hearts and their souls. And some of us, they see us. I don't know if you believe in past lives, but I do. So I believe that they see some of our past lives that we have lived also when they look at us. So that might determine whether or not that they're going to interact with us. Because just because we're, I want to say, good people in this life doesn't mean we're always were in the past. We've all made our own mistakes. So
I leave that door open. I don't know.
Right.
I've never had a feeling of something I had done in my past life. I have no experience with that, but I leave it open. I'm not saying I believe in them, but I'm not going to say that there's no such thing. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was regressed. Let's see, the kids were little, so probably like 18, 19 years ago. I had a therapist I was working with did a past life regression. And it came out that I was back in the gangster era, in the 20s during the bootleg. And I ended up getting gunned down. So obviously I was not that nice of a guy if I was doing that. Which to me made perfect sense because I've always been drawn to that era, of history. So.
Yeah, I did a lot of when I lived in Chicago for 14 years, and I did a lot of investigating on mob places in Chicago.
Yep.
That's why I see my intro.
Yep. Yeah, I would love to get down there and buy the old Biograph. I think that'd be an awesome place to go.
I do the special every year.
Yeah.
On the anniversary of John Dillinger's shooting.
Yeah.
I show the video of Richard Crow's last John Dillinger event. And a friend of mine, we didn't get to do it this year, but I finally talked him into, he does, Tony Zavisky. He does most of the ghost tours.
I know Tony.
They are finally doing an event there on the anniversary of the shooting.
Okay.
But they couldn't get internet this year for the event. So hopefully we can get AJ Crime, AJ True Crime.
I just met AJ down in New Orleans.
He was there.
See, both of them are affiliated through me, through the Old Spiritualist Church down in Cicero, Illinois. That's actually a church that I grew up in. It was the governing body to my parents' church.
Oh, okay.
So through the church, I've met both of them, and I've worked with Tony a few times at the church. I haven't done anything with AJ yet, but I'm looking forward to the future.
AJ seems to be a nice guy.
Yes.
Tony and I, over the years, Tony and I have done stuff for many years. I've known Tony, we're on 20 years now. John is a continuum. Did not know that.
It could be possible.
But Tony is trying to get that together in the alleyway. He's not doing a lot of things like Richard Crow did. He is stepping into, of course, nobody can replace Richard Crow. But Tony's there. He's trying to do some of the same things. I've only had one encounter with a demon. That's
Yep. I haven't had any.
mine.
Yeah, I haven't had any demon encounters yet. 9 times out of 10, when it comes across the spirit box, oh, I'm a demon. I call bullshit, and it turns out to be a grumpy old man.
Exactly. I think most of your demon claims are just a spirit trying to be tough, be cool, or someone you want to hear, or just being a jerk spirit, and they were probably jerk people in life.
Yeah, you keep the same personality as you do here as you do in the afterlife. So if you're a jerk now, you're going to be a jerk when you pass.
That's it. If you're a bully in life, you're going to be a bully over there.
Now, I'll take that theory one step further now. If you cross over to, creator, God, universal source, whatever you want to call it, you lose that anger. You do come back loving. But if you don't, then you still that jerk. Because I've sat down, I've done readings for people where the person comes off super strong, arrogant, like a prick, and you're describing them. But halfway through the reading, and all of a sudden they switch, like a switch flips in them. And they're letting the people on this side going, I do love you. I'm sorry for the way I treated you. So on and so forth, which is totally opposite of the characters they were in the beginning. And so with that being said, I do believe that once you fully cross over and come back, you let all that go. That being a jerk is more just anger and hatred that you've built up over years that a lot of us don't know how to release. So we carry that with us as extra baggage.
Crack that whip, girl. I'm not sure what Christy's talking about, but it's cool. Yeah, somebody said, where's Christy? An Al Capone or a continuum. Al Capone does not like me. Yeah, I channeled once, and apparently I went back in time and saw Al Capone. He was leading a bunch of women into a bar. So apparently he had some of his girls, and he run a lot of women, and was bringing them into a place to entertain some of his big time friends.
Okay.
And I was just observing this, not thinking I could be seen. And suddenly Al Capone just looked at me, and we locked eyes. He just kind of nodded his head, went about his business, but he actually saw me standing there. And then I was at Ethel's bar, which was a mortuary for years, about 90 some odd years. And I was working with a psychic, and he had an old friend of his that was stuck in the ice room because that's where his funeral was. The very year I was born, in 56. And the psychic and I talked him out of that room where he could move around freely.
Yeah.
And he was holding between 20 and 25 spirits hostage there so he wouldn't be alone. He freed all of them, and the feeling both of us got when suddenly all those spirits were freed out of that building because the bar had shut down. And they were talking about putting a bank in there. And you don't want to open a bank or any other business with 20 some odd spirits in there.
Right.
So we got them out. The building's still empty because that was back when the Great Recession hit, and they changed their mind about putting anything in the building. So it's still vacant. At least the bottom part is. I don't know if they're renting out the upper 2 stories for apartments yet.
That would be an interesting spot to go back to and see if anything has moved back in.
Yeah, that is quite possible because it's been quite a while since we did that. It was about 8-9 years ago.
Okay.
So there is a possibility of things going back in there.
Yeah, no matter how much you can clean out an area, in time, you do have those that pass through that will set up shop.
Yeah. Well, we got Bruno Rodi, who was Al Capone's #1 bomb guy, was the spirit there.
Okay.
He was unhappy being locked in that room, and employees of the bar would not even go in that room. I spent some time in that room, and he walked through me once. What? I'm an old soul. Mountain man lifestyle at rendezvous. I would be considered a trusted prince of the neighbors. Sorry for the long message and sidetrack. Not a problem, Tucker. You made an interesting post. Thank you. So that was an interesting post from Tucker Ziegler.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pronounce that right? Ziegler?
Yep.
Cool. Well, the second I moved Bruno to where we had to talk about Jesus Christ a lot, moving him to the side. There's forgiveness there because most mobsters were practicing Catholics.
Yep.
So we went with that approach and managed to free him. He didn't want to move on because he had killed so many people.
He's afraid of what's waiting for him on the other side.
He knows where he's going.
Yep.
So we just told him just roam the earth, have fun.
Yeah.
Go somewhere other than here.
Yeah, just don't hurt anybody else anymore and go do your thing.
And Al Capone's a little bit upset with me because I did that.
Well, I've been in some places that were known to be Capone's running areas. I've yet to run into anything with him, which I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to sit down and have a conversation with that man, to know how his brain worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up in Chicago, in the streets, I wasn't the nicest guy as a kid. And I joke around. I'm like, I'm what the definition of what happens when a thug becomes a light worker. So I'd love to sit down with the older ones and hear the stories, the fly in the wall type stuff, things that aren't in the books.
Right.
That would I'd love to.
Now, Al Capone come to Arkansas quite a bit, don't you?
Yep. It was up here in Wisconsin quite a bit too.
There's a restaurant in Hot Springs that has a fiberglass statue of him that they used to have sitting in front of the restaurant.
Yep.
I think on 3 separate occasions it was stolen. And everybody who ever stole it brought it back, saying that Al Capone forced them to bring it back. He did not like that statue being stolen.
Interesting.
That would be a fun place to go if you came down here. Would be going to Hot Springs because a lot of Chicago gangsters came down. Hot Springs used to be the hotbed of gambling. Okay. They were set up at one point bigger than Vegas because the laws were not enforced. They had a minor league team that also participated in all this. If you want to read about gambling and the underworld, pick up a couple of books about Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I'll check that out.
And Al Capone came down there. There's places, one of the older hot tub places they went, the Hot Springs, still standing.
Okay.
So it'd be cool to go in there and shoot. We could sit in some hot springs.
Yeah.
Basically a hot tub. And
soak up the body and see what shows up.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Sit there in a hot tub with us.
Right.
And that would be cool to check. And I want to go to that restaurant because they're keeping the statue inside the restaurant now. Okay. Make it arranged on a slow time. You got to go off season to go there. But sit there in that restaurant and maybe hook up a little echo box session and a ghost box session, sitting beside that statue and might have just a friendly conversation with Al Capone.
Right. I know people were talking about in the chats here, mentioned about Capone, Wisconsin here. I know he had several different locations up here where I'd like to go try to investigate and check out, see if we can get him. He actually had a hideaway way up north that what you want to call it. I just seen a video, but I think last week it was up on one of the Indian reservations. And they're restoring it as a museum. You can stay there.
Really?
And of course, yep. And then you have over by Chilton area, there's a bar that supposedly was his. That's named after him. Amazing food there. And every time I've gone into this place, you could feel there's activity there, old activity. And a lot of it, I think, hangs out upstairs. And then
Cool.
as far as the mobsters, also up here in Wisconsin, the old Baraboo Inn. I don't know if you've heard about that place or not. It's in Baraboo, Wisconsin. It's actually where I'll be this weekend. And downstairs, they have what's called the torture pole. That's where the mobsters would string people up and torture them to get the information out or get whatever they're looking for out of them. Hey, Louie. So, actually, I'll be down there, like I said, this weekend for an event. Instead of playing with the mobsters and the cowboys, because this bar dates back to 1800s. Instead of playing with them and the circus folks and everything that's already been known to be there, the bar owner wants to pay homage to the Native Americans of the land, and those that were down there originally. So I'll be inviting them in to come investigate with us and see if the ancestors have anything to say and see if they even come into the location. So it used to be a bar and a brothel and everything else.
Oh, wow. Let me know how that goes, okay?
Yeah, definitely will.
So, because that sounds like fun. Go ahead and say the name of the event and where it's going to be.
It is the old Baraboo Inn. And it's a full Sturgeon Moon event, I believe they were calling it, something like that. You can find it right on either my Facebook page. I've promoted it a lot over the last few weeks. You also find it on the old Baraboo Inn on their Facebook page. There might still be tickets available if you go ahead and click the link and go through Eventbrite. And they have the option of investigating the bar and the upstairs brothel. Or if you want to pay a little extra, you can also go down into the basement where the torture pole is. And I had an experience with that before. First time I went out there, I actually had one of the enforcers graphically show me what his job was.
Oh, wow.
In that room. And I showed up and I was there with Scotty Rourke and the Mad City Ghostbuster team, with good friends of mine. And I love working with them guys. I'm explaining to them, okay, this is what I see. This is what I experienced. Tell me I'm nuts. They go, no, you're right on point. Because being a medium, I always second guess myself. And for that strong of a vision to come through, I thought it was just, daydream. But no, it lined right up with everything they've caught.
Hey, Christy asked, weren't they his territories as well?
Yeah. Yeah, he just because he was known for Chicago didn't mean he always just stayed in Chicago. All the surrounding areas, he had his fingers in every little bit.
Well, you got to remember the weather in Chicago too. Yeah. Wisconsin's a nice place to go during the summer when it's hot, even in Chicago.
Yep, we're a few degrees cooler. We got more wilderness. You can get out and hide, take in the fresh air. If he was in the fishing, we had plenty of spots for fishing up.
And Warren Springs, Arkansas is a nice place, especially when you got all the hot springs going and the bathhouses to get out of a cold Chicago winter in, say, a January.
Oh, definitely.
Because you got to remember, there's no air conditioning and the heat wasn't that great. You can keep warm and survive, but you want to do a little bit. If you got money, you want to do more than survive. If you got the money to come down to Warm Springs and stay in a hotel that's warm completely by very hot water coming out of a natural spring, you can walk around like it's summertime.
Oh, definitely. Not to mention, think of what it does for the body to get into them hot springs. The water itself, with all the minerals and everything, that's good healing.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of going on at the original hot springs, original mineral springs there in southern Illinois. Not the one that's got a mall by it or something. It's an active hotel where the mafia used to meet all the time. When Chicago and St. Louis had to have a meeting, they'd go down to Oakville. That's where this place is.
Okay.
That's an interesting hotel to stay at. I would love to get up there again. There are two primary female spirits that hang out there, and I've contacted both of them.
Okay.
And I actually have video of one of them on camera in a full bell dress. Walking back and forth in the background, which was interesting.
Nice. We'll have to plan a trip together where we kind of start in the north and work our way down to Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll have to do something like that. There's a lot of stuff between you and I that need to be investigated. Yeah. And I don't have anybody down here. It's not like I've got my own team here. I live outside of town with 2,200 people.
Yeah. So I got friends all over that I'll work with and I investigate with. But if I want something to do like on a Friday night up here and it's not pre-planned, I have to grab one of the brothers or someone or get the kid to go with me, and they're not always available.
Yeah, I'd love to have had somebody when I was at Pittsburgh. It was hot. My legs were screaming the whole time.
I bet.
Because it's the knees, the hips are giving out, and that's where I got the last of my hip work done. It took me, I was 2 to 3 weeks recovering, and now I'm in therapy trying to still recover and strengthen this, especially the left hip.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been doing everything I was doing for the road trip, because I came back and, actually it was a few days before we left, my legs had swollen up. It wasn't circulating properly, and with being a heart patient now, I should have been paying more attention to that. So they're just a little swollen. I kept going. But when I got back and then got on some meds and seen how much they really were swollen, like, dang, because they're almost like, my calves are almost as big as my thighs.
Oh, wow.
That's,
you gotta watch that.
Yeah. And I didn't think nothing of it, oh my God, just no big deal.
Mm.
Well,
we both can stand to lose some weight.
Oh yeah. Hopefully by next year we'll see a new trimmer Rez.
And I'd love to be down around 200 pounds.
Oh, if I was 200 pounds, I'd be looking like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I weighed 190 my senior year in high school and ran a 7-minute mile.
Oh wow. I was more of a short distance guy.
Yeah.
I think I run a 4.4, 4.340. Of course, I was only 140 pounds at 5'9".
Right. Yeah, I was 190 at 6'1", played football, and I wrestled. I was in the Junior Marine Corps program. And the only reason I know my time on the mile was the last year I had to run it, I actually ran it twice. I ran it with my class, and then later on, I had study hall. I went and ran it with that class. It was during football season, so I was already in shape. So.
Yeah, I played baseball when I was 37. I was
Nice.
my baseball playing weight was about 180.
Okay.
Playing right field, had that combination of I could run a bunt out. I was the fastest person in my league from home to first.
Yeah.
So when I bunted, 9 times out of 10, I bunted and was safe. And it didn't matter what the third baseman did. I just bunted right down the line. It'd stop just out of the catcher's reach. Make the third baseman charge in, catch the ball, and throw me out. And they didn't do that very often.
43 kilograms. I don't know what that converts over into pounds, my dear.
I don't know the conversion in my head.
No.
To convert that, I have to go look up a conversion online and put the numbers in there.
Yeah.
I sure can't do it in my head. I never learned it. She's pixie size. Yeah, 5'2", yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife is about that height. You saw Gail, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of short. I told her short to soothe the city when she was living in Chicago because they built the sidewalks too close to her ass.
Yeah, we call that fun size over in the States. Pixie size.
Well, did you say you do crystals or something like that?
I actually started making light up pendulums.
Light up pendulum. That's what it was.
Yes, yes. I actually have one right here. Let me grab it. Now, I debuted them down in New Orleans. I got to thinking one night, you're always in dark basements. We always got the lights off when we're investigating. Can't ever do pendulum work. So
True. You have lights on.
Yeah, came with my own. So I'm going to ask you to show me a yes, please. As you can see. Moving. Okay, stop. You show me a no, please. See, change directions. Okay, stop. Yeah, so now these change colors on their own. I do the next batch, I will have them also in white. I'm working on a deal right now also to bring them to you in UV. Me and Larry Eisler are working on something. So stay.
Larry Eisler is just a great guy to me.
He is. He's one of the brothers. You know, we're working on combining something out of his store with something out of my store, doing a joint venture. So you're all gonna have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I just think the world of Larry Eisler. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, definitely. So this next batch pendulums I'll have done within the next week or so. I will be selling them out at Mass Paracon this year. You can get them that way. Or if you want one directly, contact me through Facebook. We'll get one shipped out. You know, it's something I'd never seen before. And they went like wildfire down in New Orleans. It was the first place I had actually released them for the public to see. And I actually got a phone call, I think it was last week, the week before, from Chris. Chris was going, dude, they were using your pendulums down here. People that weren't at the Paracon, they just had them. I'm like, cool. You know, I'm glad I'm actually able to contribute something to our field for an instrument that people can use on a long-term basis. They can keep it in their kits. You know, batteries are replaceable in them. They just keep a little watch battery in it. You know, I think it's a lot better than having to turn the lights on to use your regular pendulum.
Anything's better because I think one of the most important instruments you have in ghost hunting, paranormal investigations of any kind, is your night vision.
Yeah.
You don't want to cut on a bright white light at all during an investigation.
No.
And you're talking about the dim colors with that. Because, see, that eliminates a lot of pendulum work because pendulums don't show up well even using IR light. It's hard to see them with UV light. Yep. You've got a self-lighting one there that's not going to blind your night vision.
Nope.
And and you can actually use it in dark places without having a white light flashlight, which I hate to fire up during an investigation.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I prefer to
Now,
use my red one.
Christy says she wants one. Is that the place to find you? Is your Facebook page?
Yeah, best place to get a hold of me is Bobbie RezNeck Calkins on Facebook. You know, Christy, we've had chats before, so you should have a chat somewhere in your mixture from us. You know, reach out to me and we'll discuss. I was selling down at the Paracon for $20 each. You know, so it's a fairly cheap price. It's not going to break the bank like most of our equipment does. Lord knows some of the stuff out there that we have to pay for is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I'm looking at maybe some of these out of this batch. I might fancy up a little bit, maybe throw some extra stones on them or something. But right now, it's just a basic pendulum, chain pendulum.
It's cool.
Yeah, Kimmy has one of them. Kimmy Corpse down south there. She ended up getting one for a present from Nancy. Says that she loves hers. Yeah.
Your Christy says she's going to message you about getting one.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Gwen has one. Yep. She got one of the original ones. So there's the first batch. You know, I was surprised. You know, I thought it was a good idea, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll go over. I think I only came home with 3 of them from 3 or 4 left from New Orleans. I took 24 with me. You know.
So you sold about 20 there.
Yeah, close to it. You know, I gave a few away, obviously. You know. Yeah, even Sam Beltrusis and Patty Negri came by the table and each got one and used it at their seance on Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, it was a rush. Everyone and their mama had it.
Sunday was a rush.
It was.
But Patty Negri, I met for the first time down there, and she is an extremely nice person to me.
She is. She's a doll. She's a sweetheart. I've known her going on 4 years now, I think. Just sweet as can be.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what I got from her. And of course, our friend, Father Sebastian.
Yeah.
He was ghost hunting with me at Claudia's Saturday night.
Nice.
And we found out that we were sitting side by side, and I said, wait a minute, that's Father Sebastian here to my left. So we were actually doing some ghost hunting together, and he's real excited to get into it, and Patty's the one that talked him into it. Yeah, that's a good question about your pendants.
Yeah, right now it's just a random color change, but the more we look at this, we might be able to change something, put something in it where it would react to different frequencies. You know, it's something to strive for the future.
You've got this one kind of pretty well got the kink side of it. You're selling them. Just up the game a little bit, put something else with it.
Right. You know, take a little time, but I'm sure amongst the friends that I have out there that are way more brilliant than I am, I'm sure they could figure out something for me. You know, we can do a collaboration.
I sound like Willie Nelson.
What?
That was what Tucker said just before Glenn posted.
I say maybe you might look like a chubby Willie Nelson, but awesome. I'm glad it works great for you, Glenn.
Yeah, I may have to look getting one for myself. I have never done pendulum work, so it'd be interesting to expand what I do.
Right.
Because pendulums, you can kind of sit there and do that, and that's what I got to face to. I can't do the walking around battlefields like Pittsburgh anymore. I think that was maybe my last time out doing something that big by myself, especially.
I need to get you a little hub around with all your equipment attached to it.
Yeah.
You go bobbing through the fields. Oh, yeah. We can build that.
Without the doobie. Okay.
What's wrong
I
with
didn't
the
know
doobie?
I sounded like Willie Nelson. I've never thought about that.
There's nothing wrong with a doobie amongst friends once in a while.
Uh,
It's got to be in a legal
I
state.
don't do it myself, but I don't knock it.
Teach their own. I look at it.
By the way, I'm not drinking bourbon. This is sweet tea.
Uh-huh. Sure it is. A little grandpa's cough syrup mixed in that sweet tea.
I'm not going there right now, especially with doing all the therapy, trying to keep my legs under me. It's all it is a longevity thing to put off having my hips done. Science is helping the healing work pick up frequencies of elements. Tori Monday has written a book about the 7 lights. Now, Linda just mentioned another person I think a lot of, Victoria. You know her, don't you?
I've heard the name before, yes.
She does a show with Greg Koss.
Okay, yep.
And they do a lot of the Estes method.
All right, yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, I had to picture that. I have met her a few times. I've been on Craig's show there with Wild One Spirit Connect, so.
Greg and I have been friends for, Victoria Monday. Sweet tea with a splash of whiskey. It's a draw in the voice that makes me think that's a little bit of my Georgia accent coming through. I did 14 years in Chicago, which took my accent away. And now that I've been in Arkansas for 10 years, I'm finding my Georgia accent's coming back a bit.
I'll come down and hang out with you for a week, and I'll be talking like you for 3 weeks afterwards. That's the downfall of how I am.
Yeah. Hey, with a Southern accent, you can get women.
With the old Northern accent, you can too.
True. You can get Southern women.
Yeah.
Of course,
like
being married for
natives.
25 years.
Yeah, I'll never do that mistake again. God bless you.
We met online, and we were friends for about 2 years online. And we finally met at the Arnold Classic bodybuilding competition in 2001.
Okay.
I proposed a couple months later and then moved to Chicago in July that year.
Cool.
And Riz is just dreamy. Okay.
Oh, thank you. You want me to get some 8x10s printed out for you? I'll send them to you.
What you may have to do is you tell bedtime stories at night.
There you go.
Online, tell bedtime stories. She probably listens to it.
Hey, whatever works.
Okay, yeah. Question of the day, and I'm assuming you understand this. Did Jeet?
Yeet?
I'm assuming that's directed to you, Rez, because I'm not sure what that Did Jeet is.
Well, I know Yeet from Monday Night Raw. Oh, did I eat? No, I haven't ate yet.
Did you eat? It's Southern. Sucking up works. Did you eat Southern? Did you eat any Southern food while you were down in New Orleans?
Boys, it's
Yeah.
did you eat? It's did you eat, but in Southern it's did you eat? It's like one
Eat.
word. Did you eat?
Did you eat?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a
That's a
joke,
yawn
dude.
too.
It's
like
a
yawn too.
joke. Lord, yeah, there you go.
Actually,
Like
tonight I
mommy
did not eat. I had some crackers before the show, and I'm gonna go in there and I'll eat up something else. That's another one.
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
eat
eat
up?
up.
As soon as we get off, I'll be making me something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Not sure what I'm going to find, but there's stuff in the house. We have 2 refrigerators and 2 deep freezers. I'll find something to eat.
Right. I have a deep freezer I haven't opened in over a year. I'm scared to see what's in there still.
We restocked ours with corn. We did 6 bags of corn from the local kind of Amish group. There's something else, but they're kind of like Amish. They do drive cars, but they took a really sweet white corn and a really sweet yellow corn and melded them together where it's a hybrid corn. Some of the kernels are kind of white, some are very, very yellow, but it is like sugar in your mouth.
Interesting.
Oh, Linda got hungry. I'm talking corn here.
Right.
But it's available a few miles from here, and we put up 6 bags of cream corn in our freezer. And this fall, probably about November, I'm gonna start cranking out some soups. We do the 15 bean soup with ham, and then I'll do some beef vegetable soup, and also do some chicken noodle soup.
All right. So where do I place my order for soup to be delivered?
I can email it to you.
Less filling that way.
So what we do, we fill up one of our freezers full of soups, and we've got white cream peas that are really good. Got some purple hull peas, and I got some butter peas, which is a cross between a regular pea or cream pea and a lima bean. So we've got all that for the wintertime.
Yeah.
I'm all right about all the
all right.
sexy bearded guys. Okay.
We all have to have dad bods, though.
Yeah.
You know.
And Jamie Lynn Keller, she is another nice person. I've met so many fun, nice people in the internet over the years, and she's definitely listed in that number.
She is my para-wifey, I call her. You know, she's been a huge supporter since the first day I came public doing this stuff.
Tucker wants to fit by Chester. Well, go ahead.
And then the trip out to Mass Paracon, he'll be me and Jamie Lynn heading out there together. So we have a bunch of things planned for along the way. We're going to be investigating our whole way out there and our whole way back. So make sure you guys keep an eye on Jamie Lynn's profile. Keep an eye on mine. Because that whole last week of September, first week of October, we're going to be on. We're going to be on the road and we'll be filming everything we do. Odds are the best.
Yeah, Christy, I'm already, even though it's still hot down here, I'm starting to grow in the Santa beard so I can do my Santa thing in December.
You know, I wish I could grow a beard. This is the most I can get. It's all patchy if I try to do everything else.
If I let it go for a while, it takes a little bit, but I can go ZZ Top down to here in a year or so. But I cut it short because of the heat during the summertime. There's just so January, February, I cut all this off here just because it's getting warm. And then I trimmed the goatee down to next to nothing. So it looks like I hadn't shaved it in a couple of days, just because of the heat. 12 a.m. the eclipse.
Yeah, we're getting close to that eclipse time. I believe it's supposed to be 11 o'clock Central.
Yeah.
I that's one thing I do ask that we're done by then so I can go out and see it.
Yeah, all I got to do is step out front. Now, it's a little bit, I have trees over here.
Yep. I'm surrounded by nothing but trees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out in the woods.
I was out in the woods till we had 4 acres. I sold 2 because the guy just made me an offer, and at my age, I can't upkeep 4 acres of land.
Yeah.
No shit in about it.
Yeah. Heck
But
yeah. That's what
so I got
like
somebody behind me. The guy behind him, he bought 30, 40 acres, and he's raising horses and cattle back there.
Oh, nice.
But on one side of me is 2 4-acre lots. So I got 8 acres of woods right beside me. So that's where we got armadillo, we got rabbits, we got a raccoon, and we have deer. In fact, we have some new deer. It was a couple of nights ago, I walked outside, and there was 2 does with a fawn. He was only about 2 feet tall.
You know, that's one thing I do got to say. I noticed both this summer and last summer being on the road down there in the south, y'all deers are tiny.
Yeah.
They're itty bitties. I couldn't believe it. You know, your full grown deer look like our babies.
Right, because there's so many. That's why they used to have, when they first put the deer back in the south, because all the deer were about gone. We just about shot them all to extinction, the southern deer. They brought some down here from the north, and there was still no hunting season, let them breed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, hunting season is just 2 weeks long. Then it was 3 weeks, then 4 weeks. And then they let it open about 3 months, but still no does. They finally opened up a few years ago. You can shoot a doe, but only about a week can you shoot the does, because we're getting so many deer down here.
See, we're just the
that's
opposite.
why they're so small.
You got to shoot a doe first, I believe, to get a buck.
Oh,
you know, we do have huge deer populations up here. Heck, in my backyard, you can see them almost daily.
mm-hmm.
You know, when I had my apple tree in the backyard, I'd wake up every morning around 5 a.m. and there'd be a mom and a doe at that tree. You know, heck, my kid hit 3 of them last year alone in his equinox. You know, and that's just going 7 miles to work one way.
Mm-hmm. But the deer down here, I think that's why they're so small. They're overpopulated.
Yeah. Plus, we got more swamps, more woods, stuff like that up here, I think, for them to feed off more of a natural habitat.
Right.
They got more of an habitat up here because I'm telling you, you're thinking ours are monsters compared to yours.
Yeah. The southern deer are kind of small.
You know,
especially over in Alabama and Georgia, where they just hunted constantly, and they still breeding out there.
Yeah.
That's because you was feeding them. No shooting the females down in Australia, I guess. Yeah, in Georgia, you still can't shoot a deer when you fed them. Yeah. You can't throw corn out. Here in Arkansas, corn is big business. There's farmers that grow corn that strictly feed corn, and they put it out there because not only do they feed it to cattle, and horses, they feed them to the deer, because everybody hunts down here in Arkansas over a baited field.
Yeah, see, we don't hunt off bait piles up here. Just like most areas, you can't run dogs up here either. Only for certain things. You can run dogs if you're doing bears in certain areas. For deer, I don't think anyone allows dog running. And with me being on a reservation, I have a longer hunting season than what the state does. August 1st, I think it is the first week of August, usually starts our season. It goes to the first week of January.
Victoria's in here.
Hey, Victoria.
Hello, Victoria. Yeah, her good friend Craig Cost and I used to do investigations together with Dale Kazmarek, and of course, you don't mention one to the other with those two.
Right.
You heard about that, I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm still friends with both of them. I stay out of their issues, but I know not to invite them to the same ghost hunt.
Right.
But I'm not going to get into their issues. I don't know the details. Don't want to know.
Yeah, I'd do anything for that old silver fox, Greg. That's my buddy.
Greg and I go way back. Greg was with me for 2 or 3 investigations. Tony and I go just as far back. We used to appear on Bob Trezak. You've heard of him?
Yep.
When he was just doing a real radio show at the high school.
Okay.
He had a real radio show, and he would do trivia. And he had fun with it. Discuss the paranormal, had trivia on there. And there were several times Tony and I were on there together. He brought his girlfriend. I brought Gail, and we had men versus women trivia contest. We just had a lot of fun with Bob Trezak. About all he's doing now is tours of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery.
Okay. Yet to make it out to Bachelor's Grove. I've always heard cool things about it. You know, one of these days I'll figure out I'll sneak out there.
Well, it's not as haunted as it used to be, and you can thank Cook County for that and me. Amelia the white lady at Bachelor's Grove, used to show up every night at dusk. I got rid of the reason why she had to do that.
Okay.
Her firstborn child was born there. I mean, buried there. But her firstborn died at 11 months and 4 days. Livy May, which is who that ghost is named after.
Okay.
I have invited Livy, if she wanted to visit me, can manipulate this ghost if she wants to. She's perfectly welcome to. If she wants to come down here and see me. I kind of taught her a little bit of English and how to move.
Cool.
She was locked in her great 11 months and 4 days. Mom's a little bit less than a year old. Didn't know how to do a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
But she learned a few English words. She will talk to me once in a while. And she learned how to move. She followed me home a couple of times.
Nice.
And since she did that, she can leave herself, because her mother did not want her around the nighttime evil spirits, which have calmed down because the county is not allowing desecration of the cemetery like they were for a couple of decades. Right. And some people are trying to dig up a grave there, animal sacrifices, all this kind of negative crap that used to go on there has stopped. And that's Cook County has actually assumed ownership. It was a cemetery where the spirits wanted an owner.
Right.
To keep the place up. Because Cook County was just letting it go. You had 10-foot dandelions and other weeds there. Yeah. And it was a forest. And that's why people could go in there at night and not be seen. Because you got 10-foot tall weeds, you could have 2 or 3 platoons of Marines in camo out there, and you never know they were there.
Right. And
so Bachelor's Grove has changed because they're keeping it cut down now completely.
Yeah.
They're maintaining it, and they're not allowing.
They should have been maintaining it all along.
They should have. They would not even admit they owned it. They were denying ownership, even though once people started going over the paperwork, that the owner of the cemetery willed it when she died to the county. Right. And that official paperwork was filed in a will, and they wanted to deny it for years. Then they started the rumor there was nobody buried there, because in '88 they put out, if your family member was buried in Bachelor's Grove, to come get their family member. And about half were exhumed. So for a while they said nobody's really buried there.
Yeah.
All right, Tucker. Have a good night.
Take her easy, Tucker. See you Saturday.
Dandelions are medicine. They're actually quite edible. You can grow dandelions. Yeah. You can cook the leaves as, like spinach or cabbage or whatever you want.
You can actually make wine with it too.
Gwen's got on countdown. So
Yep.
Bachelor's Grove is still fun to go to. Amelia Patrick Hundred the white lady of Bachelor's Grove. You can go down there and ask for Amelia, and she may pop in once you start calling her name. She does for Dale. Yeah. He's one of the few people, because he was the first person I told when I found this out. Yeah. And you saw the pictures comparing the white lady of Bachelor's Grove in my intro,
right?
Compared to the couple in the yellow photograph was actually Amelia and John Humphrey's wedding picture from 1863.
Okay.
And that's how I found out who it was, because it's the same doggone dress. If you look at the old Devil Cast marriage picture that Judy Huff took in 91 and with the infrared film, and look at that one right next to the wedding picture. It's the same dress.
Okay.
So that's how I figured that out.
Nice.
But you can go there. You can go to the Patrick plot. Walk in there, and you walk about 30 feet, 30, 40 feet inside, and to your right is where the Patrick plot is. It's the second largest plot in the cemetery. Libby May still buried there with 7 of her mother's relatives. That she was buried there alone from the Humphrey family, because when John first, he was a state senator. When he founded the town that they're buried in, the cemetery was not ready for burial until 1869. Libby May died in 1865. So they had to put her in Bachelor's Grove in the Patrick plot. So that was the story of that. And that's why it's not as haunted as it used to be, but it's still worth going to.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out.
Just go in there and ask for Amelia. Or you can sit there and go to the Patrick Stone and see if Libby May will say something. Bring something for her to play with.
Definitely.
Because they straightened all that out, because Wendy, I forget her last name, did a whole background research of the place. And on the path to bachelorsgrove.com is a tremendous amount of background for that. So look that up before you go. Tells you all the back history.
Cactus fruit. The only thing off of cactus I ever ate was peyote. So never tried anything else from a cactus.
I'll have to say no to that question. I think Gwen is trying to get us on a countdown. Is there anything you would like to say to end the show with, Rez?
Hey, it's been my honor to be on here with you. I've had a blast tonight. I look forward to future conversations, and I look forward to getting together for some future adventures.
And if nothing else, we'll see you next year in New Orleans.
Definitely. I'm there. It's already booked, locked and loaded. So I'll be there, and yeah, Gwen's getting tired. It's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, and you look at the timer, it's an hour 55.
Yeah.
30 seconds. So we've been going at it for a while. This is the kind of show I enjoy, though. Just two people who are friends, and we're just sitting there chatting back and forth.
Yeah, it makes for the best content. You know, I agree with that totally. So thank you again for having me on tonight. You know, and I want to thank everyone that popped into the chat for coming in and saying hi. You know, it always helps make the show a little more interesting when people actually are active in the chats.
You see, Gwen enjoyed the show.
Thank you, Gwen.
Christy put an interesting post right after that. There it is.
You can get your res fixed anytime you want. All you gotta do is give me a video chat.
That's it.
We're already friends on Facebook.
And Facebook's where if you want to find Rez, that's where you find him.
Yeah, usually that's the best place. Some of my content does go up on YouTube underneath Red Road Paranormal on YouTube. And then I have Red Road Paranormal page on Facebook. I just recently uploaded a bunch of the last season's pods to it. So, but yeah, best way to get a hold of me is shoot me a friend request, follow me on Facebook, send me a message. I'm really easy to chat with. If you ever need anyone needs help or anything, reach out. I'm always willing to be in here and help out however I can.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we'll have to either you come on here or I go on yours sometime.
Well, we'll definitely have you on Red Road. I look forward to it.
And by the way, you're talking about Sam Pratus. He is planning and we talked about Bachelor's Grove. He is planning to do a documentary on Bachelor's Grove.
Oh, okay.
So I've got Sam's been following me for quite some time, watching my various posts.
Yeah.
So I may be working with him on that documentary.
Very cool. I'll have to talk to him out there in Massachusetts and see if I can't twist his arm to be one of the ones on the side helping out.
Yeah, Greg's already volunteered. He'll be glad to do that because he knows Sam. Yeah, I think Sam's one of those guys everybody likes.
Yes, he's a great guy. There's been every time I can't say every time. Last few times he's been up to Broadhead Manor for different events. I've had the pleasure of being his chauffeur, running him back and forth between the hotel or the B&Bs and stuff like that. So I've got to know him pretty good.
Now I got to know him down in New Orleans. He's another great guy in the paranormal.
He is, phenomenal, and that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward so much to going out to Massachusetts is because it's one of his events, Mass Paracon.
All right. Well, I know that Gwen is wanting us to go. So
my belly's rumbling.
You want to hang around a little bit for the after show?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a few minutes. So,
all right,
backstage.
All right, we'll see you there. And let's go ahead and Gwen. I think this is a great show. Rez was a great guest. It's the first time he and I really sat down and just chatted with each other. It was fun. It was interesting. We had a lot of great interaction with the chat room. I'm ready to close the door on the show. Everybody have a great night. Oh my God, you just spoiled that door.